Hey guys, welcome back. We're going to deal with the devil on this, but on a side note, I found out a cool little coinky dink. Um, I saved the last picture and then I typically jump out, check the folder, make sure it's saved to the right folder, make sure I can find my picture again. And it saved like that because I had the devil layer hidden. So I jumped back in, clicked on it, saved it as a whole image. So note to self, when you're in this and you're in two layers, if you have a layer hidden and you save, it doesn't save the hidden layer. It saves just the visible layer, just the one you're working on. And now here we are, we've got the devil and the girl. Um, the blue like killed it on this side of the image and her red dress and the way everything popped in here, even behind his arm and the blue behind him and behind the horns and stuff. I am going to zoom up and make sure we don't have any halos to speak of. Now that we're kind of bound back together, it looks like we got a pretty good edge on most everything. Um, See here, we've got a little bit of haloing, but because we haven't done anything over here, it might go away without a problem. It might also just look really cool from the flames behind him. The main thing was on the front edge here. If I hadn't left a little bit of this edge, you can see one little spot right there where the blue came through where it shouldn't have. But that's so small and it's on the very edge of his nose. I'm not going to worry about that. I do have a couple little spots up here, maybe, where you can see a little bit of haloing, um, just because of the way that when you cut out, when you erase out the side of the picture, when you don't have a good line to erase and you're trying to do all this tracing, there's the computer has to make which pixels included, which pixels not included. So it's, a very good thing to keep an eye on it. Um, but, you know, it still is what it is. See, the girl is the duplicate layer. So this is the original image because I just hid the girl. But now that I have them together and I have all this color on the other side, I want to do the devil with that color because I want them to balance. I want to know exactly what I'm looking at. So we'll get into it here and we'll take the devil. We have the blue frame around our devil picture, so we are adjusting this layer. So this should not be affected at all. It should be only over here that we're seeing the effects of what's happening with what we're doing right now. So we'll play with the temperature a little bit. See, we can get quite a bit of temperature. He looks green. I don't really like him being green. You know, you bring in more blue and he kind of washes out in the picture. So we'll zero that out. We'll play a little bit with the tint just to see what we got going on. Green, purple, red. Should be able to get some good stuff with him. Like I said, I do that just kind of to see what the overall uh, potential is for what we've got going on. So we're going to close down again everything. We're going to start with sharpness because sharpness, clarity, and contrast are what's going to cause your skeleton to get stringy. Like he's already got some stringiness to him. We don't want to highlight this. Um, so if we bring the sharpness up, look what happens. He gets stringy. So we don't want to bring in sharpness hardly at all. We'll try the luminance, which is the noise reduction in here. Remember, it kind of can make some things blurry depending on the detail. And I'm not seeing a whole lot over here, but we'll try some detail. Ooh, that kind of, how's that look? kind of cool. Washed him out too much, but kind of like him being just a little bit, uh, what's the word, like ethereal. Like he's not 100% there. He's kind of maybe in sort of a dream-like state for this girl. Noise reduction down pretty low. What do we get out of the detail? Don't want him to be stringy. Put it up about midway. Kind of like him being a little blurry, but not too much. We could play with texture as well, which it gets just a little bit less fuzzy with the texture. Just playing with this a minute. I didn't forget you guys were there. I know I should be talking the whole time, being entertaining and funny and all that kind of stuff. Do we get anything out of color? Absolutely nothing out of color, so we'll leave that alone. I want to check his horns. Now remember, the flowers are in her layer. Check the wings, check down here in the sticks. So I don't think we want to use sharpness. I think he's just going to get stringy. So we'll leave sharpness alone, close that up. We're done with that. We'll go up to tone and we can play with the clarity. Seeing, oh, yeah, there we go. A little bit of lag with the computer. I don't have a super fancy monster graphics card. I don't game, so I don't need it. Like the overall clarity, just up a little bit. And we can play a little bit with contrast. And it gets really dark. I've actually got to zoom out for that. See, if we darken him up, he becomes even a little more ethereal. About 25. See if that makes other things too blurry. Because contrast can actually cause blur too, especially when you're dealing with dark parts of an image. And we can play with brightness. We darken up certain parts of the image, brighten others. I mean, I don't want him to have a whole hell of a lot of brightness. I like the idea that he's got a little bit, like off the top of his horns, right on the front of his face. But again, I don't want him to be stringy. And he's looking a little stringy. So I'm just going to reset the brightness. We'll play with vibrance and saturation once we've gotten through with the colors. He's looking a little blurry. Why is my picture looking a little blurry, except when I zoom it up? There again, it could be my computer lagging a little bit, but we did blur him out just a little bit. So hue, what kind of hues are we going to be using over here? I mean, we've got the red from the flames. We've got the red from her dress, so I'm thinking a little more orange in the flames. That's a little more red. Ooh, a little more yellowy, maybe? That's too yellow. Ooh, now we're talking. Get kind of that yellow crackle right in the middle, right behind him, right here. A lot out of yellow. We get a lot out of orange and red. Again, I'm not talking, but there's only so much I can do, guys. Concentrating, trying to show you the best that I can. How to use a program, I have no idea how to use. I have no training in these types of things. So I'm going to kind of bring them down a little bit because we need to go over to saturation and see what happens when we saturate the red. It makes his wings stand out pretty good. Saturate the orange. Get that fire rolling behind him. Yellow a little bit. See if the green did anything with his horns. Some green in his horns if I do that with the blue. Don't really want that though. I don't want him looking sickly. So I think we're good. Just gotta check the lightness. Oh, that'll bring it up a little bit. And if you look right here, when you're playing with color, watch this area right here around his hand. See how that does when you do the orange? And then it kind of dies back off when we do it the other way. So it's not bad that it's there. It's just one of those situations where it's gonna either pop or not pop. And there's no way to tell until you see it happen. I think we need to reset and try it the other way. Try yellow first. And really out of yellow. Try orange. Try red. There we go. Now in this case, we can still play with brightness, but I don't really want to do that. because I don't want him to wash out. Let me check our clarity a little bit. Check our vibrance. Oh, look what happens when we add too much saturation. We've already affected the saturation with. Here again, a little more desaturated, but still have flames. I think I like that, all in all. Of course, I say that now, just like what happened with Demon Mage. I'm not crazy about this stuff around his hand, but there's nothing that I can do about it. It just happens to be something in the picture itself. So I am going to click OK and let it process. And I'm going to switch the layers, which I really can't do. We switch the layers and we get this beautiful blue background. Butterflies are nice and bright. She's nice and bright. The devil is flames behind him, kind of washed out, a little bit blurry. Maybe he's not quite there. Um, so we're gonna do another photo layer from our library. And as you can see, I've got a fair number of images in the library in here, but that is nothing. Oops, that's not supposed to be in between. That's got to go on top. I was kind of crazy with it in between there, wasn't it? We get to have fun with this kind of stuff. All right, so we got to make you maybe a little bit smaller. And then I don't want to put it too far over in the corner because sometimes these images get cropped a little bit when I'm doing them as print on demand. So I think I'm going to settle it in right in that little rounded nook that's pretty dark on its own. And then we're going to do the magic of merge all. I went to layer, came down to merge, same place I put in the photo layer, or duplicate a layer, and you merge it all. Now it's one picture, all the layers are gone. Now we can save it, and we let some chaos out. We got some of the creativity out. And I'll see if there's anything else I'm going to do with this particular picture, but as of right now, I'll look at it a couple more times over the next couple of days. But as of right now, I'm very happy with that. And I'm going to stick it into CMYK and make sure it doesn't wash out too much. But I will see you guys on the next one. Make sure you let the chaos out. 40 years, more than 40 years, I've been doing this and haven't been able to get it out. And now I can.